Well, hello, welcome to our Q&A today. It's a beautiful sunshiny day outside today.
And thank you for all the new subscribers.
Yes, thank you for that. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with Don Ferguson. Thanks as always for sharing. Love those quotes. Thank you, Don. And I thought that was a wonderful gift you got for Mother's Day, which was a tent. It has plenty of room for the grandkids to sleep. Does Papa O spend the night at Cherry Hills?
I'd say more often than not I do not, but I do go there. I do spend overnight sometimes.
The last 2 times he stayed because Davey had a camper.
Oh yeah,
The trailer.
I slept in his.
So he had a nice bed and a shower and everything, so he stayed. But Davey's going to sell it, and he's got a tent like the one he gave us, that the kids gave us, and so we'll see how it goes. We may just sleep
I forgot that I slept
back
in
of the
the
expedition,
camper.
but I did buy a air mattress, so we'll see. And we can't. What are we to do with Papa? He can't go home alone. I don't want to drive him home.
I usually drive home.
Yeah, I know, but we don't allow
We
it
don't
anymore.
trust
We don't trust it. And I can't take him to a hotel, but we'll probably
No.
just put him in the back of the expedition.
Just because I have a little bit of double vision.
Yeah, he
and
can't drive at night.
And I have bad night vision.
And then he comes back in the morning. So the camper worked out really well. If Davey still has it, he may bring it up just for Papa O. Okay, Terry Dennis.
Okay, I've been wanting to ask this question. Did you want more children? And did you use birth control?
Ooh. 6 was what we decided on, because I'm number 6. And we just thought that'd be fun to have 6
No,
kids.
we were going to stop at 5, and we both had the impression there's one more spirit waiting to come down.
Yeah, we already had Amanda picked out, but Jimmy Joe was so hard. The Action Lab guy, he was just a hard baby. Once we took him off milk, he was fine, but he was a hard baby. Always getting ear infections and ornery and crying, and the neighbor lady told me, take him off milk. It hurts his stomach. He won't. It just hurts. So take him off. But I was really scared
So we had
to take
2
him
kids that had bad effect, but Johnny would get stuffed up
nasally. But
Yeah.
Jimmy Joe was the worst. So once I took Jimmy Joe off milk because the lady was bugging me so much. I thought, okay, I'll do it just to get her off my back. But then it worked, and I go, oh, that actually worked. He turned into a lovely baby. And then we had Amanda, and I wasn't ready to have her yet because Jimmy Joe was just so hard. I needed a break. But Amanda was a blessing, and that's what we decided on. And I just used nursing to space the babies. And that doesn't work for everybody, but it worked for us. So, and then
nature knows not to make you pregnant.
Yeah.
When you're nursing.
For some women, but it worked for us. And then Papa O did the snip.
Whatever.
Ixnay on the Ixnay. Okay. Cindy Brinkerhoff. Are our faces red? Okay. Fun day. Isn't this the family that welcomed Davey and his family to stay with them while they built their house? He's talking about Rochelle. We went and had family home. Sunday dinner at Rochelle's house, and yes, that was.
They're a prisoner.
I know.
They're
very
an old-time listener.
Yeah, they're very good. Such a giving family. I think she was pregnant when they were there. Yes, she was. Very good. What a beautiful yard. Oh, and then we stopped by to see Johnny. So Johnny, they didn't stay at Johnny's house, but they stayed at Rochelle's house for 9 months, and then Johnny's house is one that had the yard fixed. Love how they were creative with the drop-off hills and such steps from the chicken coop to the garden. Yes, and Davey got rid of his chicken coop, his chickens, so he could put the swimming pool in there. Last year he had the swimming pool in there with the chickens, and it was a mess. So chickens out, and he'll put
It was a portable swimming pool.
Yeah, he'll put a nice little chicken coop out in the orchard, out where the fruit trees are, stuff. So and they weren't laying anymore, and Ella was getting in there and getting all messy with her long hair. It's just not good. So they took them out and put the swimming pool in there. So that'll be wonderful. We'll go out and float around in the pool. They'll love that. Okay, next one. Roger.
Rogerio Roger. Why is it called a ding dong cake?
That's a good question.
Well, that's a brand name, isn't it?
There's a snack called Ding Dong, and it's got chocolate and then the cream in the middle, and then covered with chocolate on the outside. It's a
Aren't ding
snack
dongs
called Ding
kind of like
Dongs.
Twinkies or something?
It's kind of like
Yeah.
Twinkies, but they're
Yeah.
chocolate with the cream in the middle. And so this cake is called Ding Dong cake. It sounds funny, I know. You must not have come. You
Have
must
grown
not
up in this
grown
country.
up around where the Ding Dongs were. So that's why they call it Ding Dong cake, because they're imitating that snack. Okay, Grateful MC. How old are Sydney and Dallin? They are 14. They just turned 15, didn't they? They just had their birthdays, so they just turned 15. And Sydney's already got her driver's permit, and Dallin will be working on his during the summer, if he can fit that in through basketball. Okay, read the next one.
Terry Dennis, question. When you have been out running, have you ever stepped on something that gave you a lot of pain?
Yes. One time, I've been running barefoot for 7 years, and one time I was just out doing my normal run, and I stepped on something. I thought, wow, that really hurt. I hope I can find a picture of it, but the only thing we can figure, it was in there for a month. I could not, finally it came out. I couldn't get it to come out.
Do you know what kind of thing it was?
The only thing, it looked like a cat tooth. I don't know. It was tiny, but it was, you
Was
know,
it white?
It was white, and it looked just like a tooth.
It could have been a bone.
It could have been a
It could have
bone.
bone from somebody's chicken, eating
Yeah,
chicken,
it could
throwing
be
it out
that,
the
but it
window.
was smooth. That's the only thing, and boy, that hurt. And I came right home, tried to get it out, but it had gone in too deep. But
See, the problem is if it's something vegetable, or like a piece of wood or something, it will fester and come out by itself. But if but if it's made certain materials
Boy.
like metal or glass, it won't
Yeah.
fester. It'll actually heal over. That's the problem.
This was a problem, but I was almost ready to go to the doctor and have it surgically removed. I'm glad I didn't have to, but I finally got it out, and boy, that was.
Did you get
who
out
would
or
ever
somebody
think-
else?
April tried to get it out, but she couldn't when we were up
Could she
camping
see it?
with her. She said she could see something, but she worked on it for about 20 minutes while we were up camping with her up by Strawberry Lake at their old campground. And then, who would ever think a cat tooth? Weird.
It could
I
have been.
saved it for the longest time. I finally threw it away. I think I saved it for a year.
We don't know
on
if
a
it
piece
was
of
a
Scotch tape.
tooth, but
Yeah, we don't know what it was, but it was it was very
you've been
painful.
going what, 7 years?
7 years
And
without.
that's not a bad
And
record.
and I have stepped on those goat heads. Those hurt for a couple of days.
What does that mean?
Those things that pop bike tires.
Oh,
But they're called goat heads. And I think that's what some people
don't
call
you-
them, sticker weeds. And
yeah.
those hurt. But it's like they got a little hook on them or something. And that hurts. But that's only for a couple of days. But boy, that cat tooth or whatever it was hurt. And I just run barefoot out in the backyard now on the grass, and then in the winter I just run around in the house. It's just a lot easier. I'm kind of nervous to go outside barefoot now because of those
So much stuff.
goat heads. Those really hurt. But
And what
they
hurt,
don't
what
stick
hurt
in
worse
here.
than that is when you got bit by a dog when you were outside.
yes, I did. But that has nothing to do with barefooting.
That's right.
I've been bit 3 times.
By dogs?
By dogs, yeah. And it's funny that every time they go, "Boy, she's never done that before," the people are right there. And they can't figure out why they've done it. Have you guys ever done that? Tell me, comment below if
When
you've had a dog
when
bite
I used
you.
to go on my 6-mile run, I passed a farm that had a gate and it had a dog in it. Once in a while the dog would be open and he would bark and kind of start making his way. I'd be across the street, so I always had a handful of rocks. And most dogs, if you make the motion of throwing something, they
Yeah.
will run away.
I've done that. Some dogs were, a dog was coming towards me out on the canal road. So I picked up the pebbles and threw it, and it came running over like it was food. Oh my God.
I've never seen.
It's not food, it's right. You're supposed to be scared. So it didn't work that time. Okay, but that's a good question, and because people wonder about that when you're running around barefoot. And I think that's the only time that I can remember of those. And then little pebbles hurt, and when people put, you know, those little white things you put on the lawn, the fertilizer stuff, those hurt too. I don't know why, on the sidewalk. Okay, but they don't stick in your feet or anything. It just kind of hurts to run on them. Okay. Lemonhead, have you and your husband always lived a Christ-filled life, or did you ever have a time in your life when you did your own thing? Looks like a wonderful life you have. Any hard times at all? No, everything's good. No. Oh, yes. It's like a roller coaster. Good times, bad times. Good times, bad times. That's just the way life goes. And it's good to have bad times, hard times. Makes you stronger. If we didn't have any hard times, we'd be little weak, scared little babies. But life toughens you up. So have you had any hard times in your life before you met me?
When I went over to Europe and lived among the people that didn't belong to the same church.
Yeah, because Papa, he wanted to find a girl to marry in the temple.
But I kept my basic things that I believed in, like no sex before marriage, no alcohol, no smoking. I kept all of those.
Yes, he did. And he was 34 when we got married, and he obeyed all the rules. And it was tough for him. He was gone for 3 years over in Europe. And
well, no, 7 total.
7 total, off and on.
3 was my mission. 2.5 was my mission.
Okay, 2.5 your mission, and then came home, and then went back to Quebec and came home. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then when did you? Oh, got his bachelor's degree. Went on a bike ride. When did you go to Europe for 3 years?
Quite a few different times. So.
Yeah, well, tell us, because I'll probably get it wrong.
Well, we're getting off.
Okay, we're getting off subject. Yeah, and so he did keep his covenants, and me, I was 18, we got married, and I pretty much stayed close to the church and haven't wavered. Always lived a Christ-filled life, but because I didn't really leave, I stayed with my family and met Joe, got married, raised the kids that way.
Then came right from her family to getting married.
Yeah, but Papa had, after your mission, would you have like 10, 12 years waiting for for a girl to marry in the temple?
Actually, about 3 or 4 years later, I worked in Vancouver, BC for my dad, and then I rode a Greyhound bus to Quebec, Canada because of the French there.
Likes the French.
Then from there I went to Spain, lived there a year, and et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera, et cetera. And finally, didn't you get kind of engaged 3 separate times in 3 separate countries?
No, I proposed.
Proposed,
they did not get engaged.
And they didn't say yes because Papa wanted someone to be his own religion. He thought he could just date who he wanted and then convert him later. But it doesn't. It's harder to do it that way. That's like...
Well, I made it clear that I would not marry outside of my church. And
no sex before marriage.
Yeah.
And this offended those girls.
And I told some of the girls, I said, 1 year from now, I will be leaving Quebec and going to Spain.
So one of the girls, I don't know which one, her friend or her, said, why don't you just go home and find a good little Mormon girl and just get married.
That happened when I was in Utah. So.
When he's in Utah. So that's what he did. Yeah, it's hard to convert somebody, fall in love and then convert. It's easier just to date.
Find one already made.
In your ready-made, in your religion, whatever your religion is, it's easier than trying to convert somebody. So that's a good question, and it is a wonderful life. And
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart, because you have God in your life and you obey the rules and you are both on the same, it really helps to have you in the same religion, whatever it is, and raise your family that way.
Because that's why my 2 parents got divorced.
Divorced, yeah.
Because one was Mormon, one was Catholic.
Yeah, and that's why Papa O was determined to marry someone in his religion, because he knows religion doesn't matter when you're dating and you get married and then you have kids and suddenly it matters. You think, oh,
And
how are we going to raise our kids?
I didn't want to get a Mormon that did not go to church on Sunday.
A Mormon that's convicted, a member.
Convicted?
I mean,
Converted.
No, it's strong in that religion. I was going to say
Converted.
Yeah, converted. A strong person, and we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mormon is a nickname that was given to us. So if anybody's confused about that. And LDS, that's Latter-day Saints. That's also a shortened version of the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Okay. And yes, hard times, especially with kids, going through raising kids. But if you have that the same religious goals, it really helps a lot. Of course it's hard because we each have our own upbringings, that when you're raising your own kids, you think, well, should we spank them? No, we shouldn't. Should we give them allowance? No, we shouldn't. Should we pay them for their grades? No. You have different opinions, so you got to come together and in those things. And in my book, Mom, I'm Home, I talk about that. I'll post a link to that below.
I've read on where people, if they had bad times in their life, sometimes as an excuse they'll say, well, I've got to find myself. I'm going to
I got to go find myself.
I got to find myself.
No, you're not lost. You just don't want to obey the rules.
Say, not on my watch. You're not going to go find yourself. You either stay and work at our marriage.
That's right. And when you say work on a marriage, all you got to do is just be I was going to say convicted. I remember one time I pulled up to drive up place to get hamburgers or something, and a lady, for some reason, the girl that came out and served us, she goes, how long have you been married? And I go, 30 years. It was 30 years at the time. Now it's 45. And she goes, oh, that's a long time to be married. I go, yeah. And she goes, how do you stand being married to one person? I go, well, you commit, you promise.
She's not going to be married long.
You promise God. You make a commitment. You promise to make it happen. You make it work, and you don't just say, oh, I'm not happy anymore, I want out. You think you're going to find happiness out there. You make it work. You promised God to make it work, and you get through it. You don't just say, that's it for me, folks. You don't jump out of a ship when there's a big storm and hope somebody's going to come along and save you. You batten down the hatches. You work through it. You work as a team. Batten down the hatches.
Oh, is that a word?
I don't know. And you just wait till that storm's through, and there's going to be other storms. There's always construction going on out on the roads. So why can't you always have construction in your marriage? There's always something you're fixing.
Or in your own life.
In your own life.
You're always working on something.
And you don't just jump ship and say, I'm going to go find myself. Say, good luck with that one. It's so much easier and better together. You work it out. You work through it.
What they end up doing is finding themselves in a local bar and
looking for somebody,
taking some girl home.
Yeah, don't want to be doing that.
That's not finding yourself. That's
when you get married, you promise God that you would get married. I mean, you would. I was going to say sit up a little bit. That you would take care of each other, and you commit and you build each other up. And one thing I find that happens a lot, especially on TV, couples that have been married for a while like us, they sit and nitpick at each other. And they say, stop doing that. Build each other up. Say, oh, I love how you do that, or I appreciate you doing that. Instead of you always stay on the appreciation side and get away from that expecting side where you expect them to do that. Say appreciate, and don't sit and nitpick and say, oh yeah, you always do that.
Okay.
All right, then we'll move on to the next one. We all can think of stuff. Okay, Grateful MC, cute outfit of the day. Thank you. You can get.
No, you can pet.
You can pet Grandma Kitty, but not Mama Kitty. Yeah, have you found the kittens yet? Nice video about Papa O at the end. Have a great week. Thank you. Yeah, out of all those stray cats, the grandma one will let us pet her, but she won't let us pick her up. And the other cat's just, the mama cat.
Well,
I think she's been touched once when she was a baby.
No, it's just that they're stray cats.
Yeah.
And we're a place to feed them.
Yeah, they come for food.
And so they hang out here for the food, but they're still stray, dangerous cats. They just are.
Yeah, they just are, yep. So, let's see, we've been going for 20 minutes. Should we close with quote of the day?
Yeah, because we got 2 more pages to go.
Why don't you grab the quotes there? Daniel Lefko, 19. Did you have a good Mother's Day? Yes, we did. Davey and April are out of town, but they're back now. CVX Live is coming up, 2019. And I'll post below where CVX Live will be. I always hang out with Davey's family because we're not a big enough channel yet to have people come see us, but every once in a while...
Though they do recognize you.
Yeah, every once in a while somebody will notice me and they, oh, your Mama. Oh, I go, yep. That's me. Anyway, we'll close with a couple of quotes. And CVX Live is in August. So that's when you get to come meet people. It's always fun to meet people. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this one's by Aristotle, one of the... Plato and Aristotle are 2 of the greatest Greek philosophers around 2,000 years ago, and it was blinking red. So.
Okay, let's close with a couple of quotes.
Okay, this is by Aristotle. Remember, he and Plato were the famous Greek philosophers. Here's what Aristotle said. There is only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing.
Then nobody will criticize you because hey, he does nothing, so they might criticize you because you're doing nothing. Okay, let's see. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be.
Wow.
So this is who I decide to be. Just make a decision.
And that includes if you decide to be a happy person?
Yeah. Yeah, or...
Does my hand show?
Yes, your hand shows.
Show?
Well, it was. Okay. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And remember to look for the rose. And let's see what tomorrow brings. Thank you. And keep those questions coming. And good night.
Good night. Jill.
And I have my hair on the side because I wanted to show the cute buttons in the back.
Those do look cute.
It looks cute.
Yes.
On. If I have my
Are they
hair
fake
down,
buttons?
No. Well, there's no buttonholes. So
Yes,
that's why I have my hair on the side.